But in years past, that neighbor has her family get together around Labor Day or something, and
September, yeah.
one of the holidays.
Yeah,
It's like
that's
3
the
days.
part that the pipes are still out of the bathroom, and that bathroom's locked up. And she was the one that reported the water leaking. Mr. Wolf was here during time, but she was the one that reported the water leaking for 3 days. It had been leaking.
Why don't you lock it up and let's see if anyone calls about it.
Okay,
And then we'll go.
okay.
If
I'm
everybody-
good with that, you good with that, Tim?
Well, the complaints of not being able to access is one way that we can measure it. Should we post some sort of signage in that?
You want something that says it's closed for the winter, or something like that?
Is,
Or call the
are-
office if you want to use the park.
Have they been closing parks now? It's because of the virus?
Some communities did at the beginning, but they're all open now.
Now again.
They open, they usually have, I've seen them open with signage,
Right.
equipment not sprayed, sanitized. To let you know that they don't spray them.
I think we could be okay locking the gate, because that's just keeping vehicular traffic out, and kids can still get back there to the open part of that, if they want to go use that jungle gym or whatever.
We'll get her done. Thank you, Tracy.
But that may create another complaint, because everybody's gonna want to turn around in that lady's driveway.
They can't do that. Her driveway is not accessible to turn around, really. It'd be the other lady across the street, more likely.
I'll tell the resident, you guys did this tonight, and she'll be very happy.
Hey, administration report.
Okay, trustees, I brought it up earlier tonight. We have a chief's vehicle that's sitting down at Lebanon Ford, and they will not release it to you until somebody signs on the transfer paperwork. And it has to be someone that's got the authority money-wise to do it. So I don't have the ability to do it. I don't know what the contract was to buy this vehicle, because I wasn't prevented to see it. So I wouldn't want to sign it anyway. So I need an elected official to sign the paperwork, and then either the fire department or myself has to take it to Lebanon Ford, and then they'll requisition the fire chief's car back to Jefferson. But for now, it's in holding.
They'll give you a call without payment?
We don't have the transfer paperwork signed that should have been done.
So are you worried about the transfer
So
payment?
when they came to get the car yesterday, they gave Chief Wilcox and Chief Wright this paperwork and said this has to be completed before you're allowed to get your vehicle, no matter if you've made payment toward it or not.
Can I ask a question? Do you have an invoice?
No,
You don't have an invoice, okay. So you don't know how much the vehicle cost?
nothing was ever given to me.
Okay.
So somebody needs to sign this, or the vehicle sits until you do.
So the persons who were authorized were previous chief, Mr. Mann, and I was the
Who is
secretary.
that gonna be given to? You say, who gets that paperwork?
I don't know, I'm asking you guys who wants to sign it. It
I'm
only
just
takes
telling
one
you.
signature.
Well, I'm saying after you sign it, who's gonna get it?
Whoever you wanted to take it to Lebanon for. Because I think it needs the person to be delivered to Lebanon for.
All right, let me have it.
Okay.
He's asking what employee gets the vehicle, is at least what he's asking.
Well,
No,
it's
no.
gonna be, I'm okay there.
Okay. Understood the situation.
So what I'm saying to you guys is I need an invoice, whatever you do, because the loan company they don't have the full, we only have so much left on the loan, and the rest of the money has to come out of the fire department. So I need an invoice in order to work that out before the end of the year.
Do you just need an invoice, or do you need to know how much it is?
I need the invoice, because I
Before I
gotta
get
give it in order to get the rest of the money from the loan that the company has, I gotta have the invoice.
Okay, I'll get an invoice before I sign it.
Okay.
And so the other question I have on that situation, trustees, and I need you to just think about it, I don't need an answer at all tonight, is you have to look at the Ohio Revised Code and find out who's authorized to order and basically issue a PO. And as of today, they only have the BC, McInturf's letter of intent to buy the vehicle. You don't have a resolution passed with his name on it, giving him the authority to go do it.
But did we pass the resolution to buy the vehicle?
I don't know. That part of it I'll have to research because I don't know. But irregardless, you have to make sure the right person conducts the paperwork
Yes.
correctly.
Yes.
So the concern that your legal counsel has today is that was that purchase done legally? And if, how do we fix it? If not, or don't do it in the future by passing a resolution about how you do your purchasing, which I think that would solve a lot of concerns.
So we'll wait on an answer. from-
Another Nathaniel answer.
Trustee
Okay.
McLaughlin,
Yes.
you voted yes, Mr. Mann voted yes, Mr. McGuire voted no. And the remounted ambulances and the cruiser, that was what the loan was for. As far as who could sign it, that was written in the contract, and I just told you the names that were on the contract. Previous chief, Mr. Mann, and me were the ones that were supposed to administer. I was the secretary, Mr. Mann and the chief were the ones who to do anything on that contract according to the contract. If you want a copy of it, I could find it. The resolution had to be sent with the loan papers in order to get that loan.
So we just gotta be careful that, like a lower line employee doesn't do this
Does
again.
Nathaniel have that paperwork? Is he aware of that?
He has a letter. He called Lebanon Ford and said he did receive the letter that Mr. McIntyre drafted and sent that gave the okay to go
No,
buy.
because he have the resolution that stated the purchase, so it's in,
Because I haven't seen it.
it's in the resolution for the medics, the refurbishing the medics, is what you said, Tracy?
Remounted ambulances.
Can you
right?
send that to him or to me, that resolution like tomorrow or next day? if you don't mind?
I know we voted on one chief's vehicle, and I know I protested the second.
Right, that's the
Second one.
resolution, that's the resolution.
So,
And that was, Mr. Peterson asked me just to say that as we discussed it tonight.
Okay,
Let's just make sure that we clean up how we buy things.
yes.
Because that
So
could
let's-
have been a disastrous thing, as we drove that vehicle around, we didn't own it, and our insurance company told me that means our insurance would not have applied to fix it.
Okay,
We're gonna
so
fix it.
let's get this going and write a resolution for the correct policy, SOP, standard operating procedure for this type of activity.
Yep.
Okay. Are you gonna wait for that resolution, or are you?
No. Well, am I gonna wait that resolution to make this, for this activity to happen? No.
Okay.
As long as you get the invoice, a vehicle doesn't need to sit down on the parking lot, we need to
Oh,
get
no,
that.
we need it. I
We
mean,
need that going, so you get the invoice and get that signed and get that part, is that what you're asking me?
No, I wasn't, but that's.
Okay, I'm sorry, then restate what you're asking me.
I'm good there. He was talking about there was a resolution that was that is
For the-
gonna be needed.
For the lawyer, right.
Do we
Yes.
wanna go ahead and pay the resolution here tonight?
No, we need information from Nathaniel before we write the
So it's
resolution.
ready, yeah, Nathaniel will probably write it for us.
Okay.
All right.
You did?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, what's good about how quick this can be fixed is because, like Tracy said, you're on it, she's on it, former Chief Lutz was on it. They went ahead and started producing the vehicle because you guys were on that other paper. So if you sign that, you're a legalized person to be able to do it. And we can get the truck back. So I appreciate you giving me a second to explain that, everybody.
Sure.
I have my administrative report in your packets, plus back here on the table. It's about 5 pages long, so I don't want to bore us. We have a long night here. The biggest thing we've been working with, if you guys know this, we've now had 2 meetings for budgets. We've got another budget meeting tomorrow night, and then we're coming back next Tuesday for a special meeting. So think about, let's make sure that we are concise, I ask you, and pay attention to the topic so we can get stuff done. Otherwise, we're gonna find ourselves here every night late. And I don't think that's anybody's option, to wanna do that. Anytime you need something, trustees, you 3, come to me, send me an email. When you're having that trouble with the computer, text me that day. Because, and I'll tell trustees this, we are documenting everything about our vendor of what's good or what went bad. And we've been doing this for 6 months now. So when it comes to renegotiation or doing an RFP, we have grounds to leave them, or whatever it might be. Instead of our verbal, I had problems last night, I had problems today, we have it written down. So please just send a quick text to Adrian or to myself, anytime you have computer problems, and we're logging it. That doesn't mean I can solve your problem with Buckeye, but at least we'll know that we've logged it. And that's how you handle a vendor, in my opinion, that maybe not fulfilling everybody's A-list.
Okay.
So you're saying that every time we have the 404 access provision, we should send us,
Yes,
say
ma'am.
the date and the time?
Yep,
Okay.
because no other, I mean, obviously, this isn't happening with other vendors, or else you hear people screaming about it somewhere else, like at your work, or your work. So, you know, I'm here working on all these projects with you guys as a team, and I want us to work as a team in 2021. That's all in my report.
Okay, next is sheriff's report. I see a sheriff floating around in the lobby. You report or not?
Look at this second.
I have nothing to report.
Yeah, that's a report. Oh, that's the kind of report we like. Nice and short. Thank you. Okay, I don't see a zoning officer here and no code enforcement, so we good? This meeting might get in fast. Okay, I don't see any comments by citizens. So next thing is trustees' reports. I'll go first. And I'm just worried about, as I said before, being transparent. I will make an effort to get a quote from these guys. We need to get the Zoom up, and we've got to, as Jim said, we can't pass a levy. What this thing is, it's the way we're running this township, the way this leadership is. We're not going to get the citizens to pass a levy in this township. And one thing that will help that is to be transparent. So besides that, working on the roads. I am doing some driving around the roads and trying to work on what ones we need to fix from what we had road meeting. Did some driving today. So that's all I got. You're next, Jim.
No report.
Mr. Mann, trustee Mann, sorry.
Okay, there's quite a few meetings that's going on now, and we're doing some things. So we're gonna try to take care of all of that. But keep in mind, I'm a guy that's watching this virus, and I'm watching it for a lot of different reasons. So anyway, the vaccine is they're talking about it. Supposed to be something that's 95% good, and you have to make a choice of taking it or not. So keep that in mind. Remember, the holidays are coming. All these rallies that were going on here recently produced some more virus out there, contaminated some people. So just keep that in mind. A lot of people now are saying they thought it was a big joke, but they've changed their mind. Some of the hospitals have so many people that they can't take care of. So they gotta get to that choice. Do we work on McLaughlin or do we work on McGuire? And that's where we are. And it's gonna be that way for at least another 6 months. Because you're gonna have to take 2 doses of medication. So be careful. I've got a granddaughter that's supposed to come over tomorrow. I'm a little on the nervous side because she hadn't been in our bubble. But, you know, these are the things that you have to decide. So I think we'll be okay. So everyone take it easy. And hopefully we'll see you after the holidays here. But we'll see you before that, but hopefully everyone is here. So y'all having a nice evening.
Motion to adjourn.
I second the motion.
Meeting is over at 8:24.